welcome to a really special edition of Expressions for the New Indian Express. I have with me Mr. Chawla, Mr. Prabhu Chawla, well known to all of us, Editorial Director of the New Indian Express. I'm your host for the day, Kaveree, Bamzai. And I have with me a really interesting guest, Mr. Vikramjit Singh Sahney, who's done a tremendous amount of work across the board, whether it's Afghan refugees, whether it's COVID victims, whether it's diplomacy in South Africa or anywhere else in the world. He's founder of the World Punjabi Organization. The list of accomplishments is long indeed. I'm not going to go into all of them right away because we'll end the program before it started. But I really want to start, Mr. Sahney, with the kind of work that you've been doing over the years, a real passion for philanthropy, if I may call it. How really did you get into this? And you could have just been happy as a businessman, made tons of money, but you always wanted to give back to society clearly. But where did this spirit come from?
Thank you. I think this feeling or this motto of serving the society, serving the have-nots, stems from many factors. Sometimes my parents, especially mother, they inculcated good moral values, number one. Number two, I am a self-made man. I was in a government job, so I have risen through the cadre, and then I set up my own business in 92. So when you are a self-made man, you cross many hurdles and paths, a long, tiring or untiring, journey.
Yeah.
Then I felt like that I must give back to the society. And it was in late 90s, we set up our NGO called Sun Foundation. And then we embarked upon the program of this female feticide, drug de-addiction centers. We had 55 skill development centers. In PwC did social impact analysis, and they said that we have empowered about 12,000 rural women in Punjab and Haryana. But now of late, when COVID calamity came, I think it was a really very, very pathetic, very, very, everybody was so helpless.
Yeah, and it shook the world.
Yeah, it shook the world, and nobody knew whether you are rich or you have contacts. Yeah. You were helpless.
Absolutely.
So during the first wave, we started the artificial intelligence-based corona mobile testing ambulances. Okay. We put some in Delhi, then put in Punjab, which was flagged off by CM of Punjab, Chief Secretary of Delhi. These buses were going into the infected areas, and they were doing about 800 to 1,000 tests. They used to go do the testing at doorstep, bring the samples. Like in case of Delhi, it was coming to AIIMS. Then we put in Ludhiana district. So this was, and then it used to bring the critical patients, because half bus was ambulance and half was there. Then we had started the langar in coordination with DSGMC. We first distributed dry ration, because the migrant labor, there were thousands and thousands of helpless workers. We saw, means they could not reach, and it was, so we started. Then there was, in this process, I must say there was considerable loss of lives and livelihoods.
Yeah.
So while we were saving lives with oxygen and things like that, livelihoods, we had a program of delivering food and all, and we supported the DSGMC. But then when the second wave came, the problem was more aggravated and more serious. Yeah. There was a phenomenal demand-supply gap of oxygen.
Right.
Then by God's grace, I suffered from COVID twice. And
really?
First one was critical. I was in Dubai, and then I was in American hospital. 70% of my lungs got infected. Mm. So that also, pushed me more that, we don't know who will be around tomorrow or not, or nobody knew how this disease you catch, from where you catch, somebody using touching, breathing, A, B, C, D, F. So now then we got into oxygen. By God's grace, we could bring, with all the support, about 1,000 oxygen concentrators, which is a very large number.
Right.
We set up oxygen, we delivered oxygen. In fact, we used to, our team, I must appreciate, were delivering oxygen concentrator to the needy faster than pizza. That was our slogan
really?
On Insta. And then Punjab, clarion call came because Punjab was also huge cap. Then
Yeah.
we set up oxygen bank with Red Cross societies in
Okay.
each and every district of Punjab to Golden Temple, Amritsar. SGPC organized 4 camps. And then in the end, Punjab government or Punjab civil society told us that in the villages, oxygen maybe by the end of May this year, oxygen supply improved. But now they said the hospitals in villages and small towns, BC town, don't have
Right.
oxygen pipeline.
Right.
So how it goes to the patient, we are dire need of cylinders.
Right.
Then God gave us courage. We could muster 2,000 oxygen cylinders from different parts of the world, UAE, China, and then
Right.
we could, with help of government and other people, we could airlift them because time was the essence.
Yes.
So this was, I'm satisfied that I could do a little bit to help people needy and save these lives and livelihoods during COVID.
And you always seem to be where the action is, where people really need you. We saw during the Afghan refugee crisis as well. You've helped a lot of refugees over the years, and especially now. Talk a little about that. How
Yeah.
did you come to that?
Yeah, Kaveree ji, this all happened, and Mr. Chawla would know that it was in March 2020 that a bomb attack happened at a Gurdwara in Kabul,
Right.
and we lost 27 precious lives. Since then, I was concerned. We got into touch with the Afghan group. There were some two prominent NRIs, Mr. Dilip Singh Sethi from Los Angeles. He himself is a cancer patient, and Mr. Paramjit Singh Bedi. They also started. Some people get concerned. As you say, everybody is busy in his own affairs, but very few of them people will think aloud and they will say, no, we have to help them out.
Or
Although
know
there are-
exactly where
Yeah.
help is most needed.
Yeah, so then we could muster 520 Afghanis.
Okay.
And then, by God's grace, I sent 3 chartered flights from India, from Delhi, at our expense to evacuate them. We brought them to Delhi in last September. They were quarantined in various gurdwaras. Then we started a program called My Family, My Responsibility.
Mhm.
So we are rehabilitating all of them. There are about 110 families or so. So what we are arranging, we arrange their household furniture for them, the basic things, then monthly household expenditure and subsistence allowance. Then last Diwali, I thought COVID time is there, we provided them free comprehensive medical health insurance. And then we are paying for the children education, and we have a World Skills Center in which we happen to set up in partnership with Delhi government in 6 acres opposite Tihar Jail.
Mhm.
So since Afghani locality colony is very close by, so we started an afternoon batch to skill them, because how long we can
Support
they can
them,
be
yeah,
refugees.
right.
They have to. In fact, when these Afghan Muslims few days back protested in front of National Human Rights
Yeah.
Commission, I was the first one to reach out to them and tell them that, okay, we can't do much, but the skill center is open. You can also come in the afternoon.
Right.
We'll give you 6-month or 8-month diploma approved by government free of charge.
Have you got a response from them? Are
Yeah,
they keen
I
to do
think
that?
we have 4 or 5 students, but now they are because they are mostly in Okhla.
That's right.
Yeah,
Mostly
and
local
our center is in West Delhi.
Yeah.
But we are planning to set up some center there. But we really want to help them. Then this year, when this Taliban thing happened,
Yeah.
again we swung into action. So, of course, 76 refugees came. We were first one. We coordinated their evacuation. 180 got stuck, and barely they saved their lives from this bomb attack in the airport. But 76 who came, we have covered them under the same program.
Right.
And we are continuing their rehabilitation. And now we will be calling on our Home Minister, because they must get citizenship. Otherwise, that's why the CA Act is for at least minorities.
Exactly.
So they are the most bona fide people. But till date, even yesterday we had a meeting with National Commission for Minority Chairman. I was a bit sad to know that these people have not got a citizenship or
Yeah.
Aadhaar card or anything bona fide. So I think
Even the minority from Afghanistan, they haven't
they have
gotten-
not got yet. So we are now busy. My office is busy preparing the lists. Who are the refugees of Afghan who are there from last 10, 15 years? and what documents they lack as per CA, and who are these people 520 plus 76.
Right.
At least these fellows should get, who have come just because of this.
What
So
kind of skills are you offering them? there?
we are probably offering them 12 skills. For girls, our 2 courses are very popular. Stitching, embroidery, fashion designing, and beauty and wellness. We have assistant nurse course also, because these days with COVID, this day healthcare, which is called general duty assistant, is a junior nurse. And then for tech boys, we are offering this refrigeration, air condition, kind of washing machine repair, graphic designing, computer courses. Then all this center, we have got 500 capacity, so 1,000 students in a year. So we train them, and then all the students get soft skills like English, proficiency in English, IT, personality development, and group, which helps them to get jobs or become self-employed.
But none of this can happen until they actually get residential permits.
Yeah,
or,
it's
you know,
difficult. Yeah,
it's difficult.
we are doing it informally in the
Right.
afternoon batch, but you are right to get them registered.
But your skill program not only for refugees, but everybody else.
No,
also.
this skill program
Yeah.
is basically for, we started in that area because my interest was 84 riot victim. Because,
Correct.
you know, these widows, their grandchildren.
Awesome.
means I lost my, 4 cousins.
Really?
Yeah, 4 cousins, they were burnt alive. So it's very painful, genocide or whatever. So we started the center in Tilak Nagar basically for them and other, because there's a large Punjabi population area, youth, and not very, people who can afford education. So we have started, we got a good response. But this our afternoon batch was just to accommodate the Afghani. This was an add-on. And now we have opened a World Skill Center in Amritsar.
Regional Car Seva was related to skill development.
Yes, sir.
They started that.
Yes, sir. Because I feel I have been advocating to Gurdwaras every year. We do a Kirtan Darbar in Bangla Sahib. We have set up, you must see, the museum at Bangla Sahib, which was inaugurated by our common friend Arun Jaitley ji. And 25 lakh people have visited. What we have portrayed there, apart from Sikh gurus, we have portrayed 29 Hindu and Muslim saints whose verses are in Guru Granth Sahib. We celebrate their day. We educate people who was Bhagat Kabir, who was Farid, who was Namdev, who was, so many.
The Bhakti movement.
Because it is part of Guru Granth Sahib.
Yeah.
People, our religion is very secular, and it embraces, everybody and Sarbat da Bhala. So then I tell at Gurdwaras that we have put enough gold and marble, in Gurdwaras.
Yeah.
Now, if we can't educate our youth, but I must say, Prabhuji, that the Gurdwara at Nanded Sahib with Babaji and Mr. Minhas, they have taken a lead. They collected all the gold which have been accumulated by donations. They pledged or sold all the gold, collected the money, and they are setting up a hospital and a medical college. And they have given me a big responsibility of being the convener of the committee. And we are busy now getting doctors and blueprint and getting it affiliation with Indian Medical Association. So that is a very good step.
One thing very interesting about you, which I have noticed, that you are also an industrialist and an entrepreneur on your own right. But that personality you are hiding. Your personality of a social worker, doing some service to society. Is it deliberate or what?
No, because I am a low profile. I am a low profile person in our business. In fact, if you ask me, I think I'm misfit. I'm a wrong person to be in business. But sometimes I think that whatever we earn our livelihood by hard work, because our business is a very niche area. We are in agri and fertilizer sector. So we have investments in various countries, and then it's a very niche type of business. So sometimes I think I have to work also, because if I will not work and earn, and help the people. I think I was telling yesterday somebody that our gurus created a beautiful concept of daswat. That 10% of your income or net profit you must donate or give help. Now, if I was telling, if everybody just follows this, every Indian or whatever, or our guru saints, in every religion there is a concept. 10%. If you make $100 or 100 rupees, 10 rupees, if everybody follows this, I think we can have this inequality thing gone, and we'll have no poverty. At least people will have food, shelter, and clothing. If every Indian, follows it. But anyhow, it's so many
But you
people
have
are
also
doing
been
it.
a successful economic diplomat in the sense you are chairman of so many committees, so many delegations.
Especially in Africa.
Africa, you have
South
been in
Africa.
part of every government delegation. So what do you see then when you are...
No, I feel proud to represent India. I'm Honorary Consul General of South Africa. And of course, I have a number plate, but they gave me flag. But I told some friend of mine, I'll never put I'll put an Indian flag and not means South Africa. But there is a lot to do because this kind of, whether I'm Honorary Consul General of South Africa, we have shared history and culture, and Madiba, Nelson Mandela, and Gandhi. Gandhiji was became a Mahatma. He was
South Africa.
He was transformed in South Africa. So we have, and then now on the economic front, when the world is grouping, we're not part of the China grouping, so we are part of South-South cooperation.
You're part of BRICS also.
Yeah, I'm chairing BRICS. So Brazil, Russia, India, China, South Africa. Yes, day before yesterday I was speaking when our Prime Minister Narendra Modi was attended the Quad meeting, bilateral with the President Joe Biden, and then the UN address. And I was live on TV and I was flagging that how this Quad, in fact, UN is becoming a bit weak, I would say. It should not, because with Afghanistan, we didn't see United Nations in the forefront. It was only countries talking to Taliban. But having said that, I think India, with Prime Minister Modi, I feel we have made, it is a prestige, proud to be Indian when we go there. And he's really put India on a world map. So I feel proud to, whether it is UAE, India-UAE relation, where now we are having a Dubai Expo where India has put up a big pavilion, or whether it is BRICS, or whether it is South-South, or whether it is Quad or Middle East. It is a proud to represent India and speak about India and invite investments and strengthen bilateral economic relations, cultural relations. I believe in people-to-people contact. We did lot of work as World Punjabi organization. I am the president, and Prabhuji knows since IK Gujarat times we are working. But people to people, there is no enmity, there is no animosity. But we are sad that country are at loggerheads because a fraction of mischievous elements on other side, they derail any process. It carries on, and then but it's okay. We have to do our job because we can't change our neighborhood. No? If you are in a house, you have to, neighbor is good or bad, you have to manage. So we should continue the people-to-people contact. That is my point.
Didn't your charm on Pakistan?
Pardon?
You didn't use your charm on Pakistan?
No, people are so friendly. They hug us. We had a World Punjabi organization every Basant. We used to go with all the hundreds of people, Kuldeep Nayyar ji, Bishan Bedi, so many people. Still, we have so many WhatsApp group. And sometimes I get scared, but they send so warm messages. People to people, people of Pakistan also want peace, and they were so happy coming to India. Trade, we opened integrated check post at Wagah, and this whole Afghanistan trade, Punjab would have benefited. And now, it goes up to CIS, the old silk and spice route we open, because with the Afghan, it doesn't stop at Afghanistan, it goes to all Turkmenistan, Uzbekistan, all these countries who are landlocked and rich in natural. But now, because of this one Pakistan thing, everything is, SARC is finished almost.
You started de-addiction centers in Punjab also.
Yes, sir.
It's a very big problem in Punjab.
Yes, sir.
It is still not resolved. The entire politics of Punjab is around addiction even now.
Yes.
So what do you think? What's the problem there?
I think I was there in Amritsar. Yesterday we opened a very big World Skill Center in Amritsar also with MSDC, and same program like in Delhi. It is my plan. So why I'm saying skilling is very important, because this drugs or any social evil, it stems from the fact that they say empty mind is a devil's workshop. So if you don't give the jobs to your youth, agriculture, no young fellow wants to do agriculture. Punjab is the food basket, or used to be the foods, but now MP is also there. But now I'm telling that if successive governments, or we have schemes on paper, but if they modernize the farm. They collect 20, 30 farmers and give them loan that you put a food post-harvest preservation, cold storage. Link them with the market, close by market. They have to do value. Now these farmers' plight, they are debt-ridden and their economic plight is bad to worse. So young people don't want to, if they modernize agriculture, set up these cooperatives, small cooperatives, or even go to the food processing technology in each tehsil, so that horticulture, organic vegetables, flowers and so many other things can crop up. Similarly, industry has not been so much developed. You know Punjab well. So therefore, this problem, and then every second fellow wants to go to Canada and UK. Now we have started a program where we want to skill these guys, that at least now we are talking to Canadian government. I had a meeting with Canadian Council General. Now she is providing us list of what each province of Canada requires, welders or drivers or electrician or plumbers. Then at least I am begging these youth in our center in Amritsar that okay, please get trained, so that at least even if you want to go abroad, you get inducted at a certain level.
Right.
But this problem of Punjab,
England is giving a special visa for drivers. Temporary.
Because there's such a problem with the lorry drivers. Discontent.
So 6 are the best, but when we were students, we used to write essay on brain drain problem. Now every talented fellow will go to UK. We are Prime Minister Modi and we all want our talent back. And talent is coming back at, fintech, IT, other people.
Even
academic people want to, because India is a growing story. You see the Sensex cutting cake at, 30,000 on last Friday. So this is one side. But second, I think the economic benefits, are somehow not percolating to the poorest of the poor. This is my observation, which government is trying. We should try, civil society. It is a joint responsibility of everybody to make it sure that how these fruits of economic development and growth reaches the poorest of the poor, their standard of living goes up, the middle class, and with the COVID, everybody is hit.
I'm asking you whether good Punjabi and good social server, the Punjab elections are coming. Would you suggest anything specific about addiction and anything else in the agenda? Manifesto of every party to be included, 1, 2, 3, 4 points.
No, I have been
5 point.
I have been advocating. I am good friends with Sukhbir Badal, and Captain Amrinder Singh called me to thank for COVID help. He was nice enough, gave me a letter. All that thing is, but I am telling them, Baba, make a common minimum program. Problem is this: if they do something, the other party, it is a religious onus sort of thing that they have to undo it, they have to criticize it.
That's why you suggest something which is non-religious.
No, not religious. Whatever they do, if they do something for unemployment, the other party will say, no, this is bankam. So I am saying that in Parliament also we used to have a common minimum program, at least for jobs, for modernizing agriculture, for skilling, for whatever. We can have a 10-point program where representatives of all political parties first should agree. Because if they keep pulling each other leg and 4 or 5 years, you know what is happening in Punjab now every day. And now elections are on the corner. So until and unless we have a long-term plan or a perspective with all the political parties agreeing to some common minimum program for the common Punjabis, so things will not improve. 1 year you settle down, 2-3 years, there's some in between something will happen, political groupings. Then 1 year before you start preparing for next election. So what will happen to the Punjabis?
The Sun Foundation can prepare a manifesto, common manifesto.
Okay, so we will have, if you can help us, because you are politically connected.
No, I'm non-political.
I mean, we both are non-political, but they will hear you more than me. Because I'm a social worker, okay, I help them when they want concentrator, oxygen, or whatever.
You have been connected with all political parties.
No, I'm quite comfortable with all.
He's a man who gets things done. No matter
who. Or done himself.
Yeah. And if it doesn't get done, he'll just get into the field and do it himself. I think that is quite unique about you. And you don't seem to have any political affiliation. You work across political parties.
So so far, we are apolitical and we work with everybody. You know, our forte is social work,
Right.
socio-cultural work, people-to-people contact, uniting our NRI community with mainstream of India. This is what we have been doing with Prabhuji, has been our patron of World Punjabi Organization for so many years.
But have the Punjabi NRIs been actively involved in it? Are they, actually contributing?
No, they are barring this 1 or 2%, which because of the social media, the bad things get viral very fast. But 99% Punjabis or Sikh community in UK, US, Canada, they have a pain because he is a Punjabi, or for that matter anybody. I think you are a Kashmiri. Ultimately, wherever you reach, your motherland, your homeland will be in your heart. So if there is a program, if, as Mr. Chawla have said, if Punjab government or whatever, we collectively chalk out a program. There was a program which few years back government of Punjab, that NRIs adopt a school, a hospital in the many NRIs. They will come, but we have to have a program in place, and they should see their money, or we say we want to make cancer hospital.
Right.
We want to make, for this COVID, so many NRIs donated in our Delhi Balaji hospital, where we donated a ECMO machine, because so many people died because I was not aware what is this ECMO machine. When I saw video,
and I lost
ECMO machine,
my nephew also because of that.
Then immediately I told President DSGMC, I will bring. We immediately imported from Germany and we have installed. But having gone there, I saw Australian government has supported, NRIs is sending cylinders, oxygen without asking. So there was a lot of, they put a langar of this oxygen. There was no dearth.
But sorry, really, I think the core of who you are is seva, isn't it? It's the spirit which I think is ingrained in all Sikhs, that they have to serve, that they have to do seva.
Yeah, somehow I also said in the program that seva is part of the Sikh ethos and in DNA. But somehow, maybe I have spent my lifetime and a lot of years, I feel satisfied and joy by helping somebody. It's like joy, #joy of giving. Like a day when I help anybody, I feel very satisfied at end of day that, my day has been very good. Okay, we can earn, there is no end to wealth. One should work hard, that is your karma, and I work hard, means 8 to 10 hours I work. But if 4 or 5 hours you are serving, if I see any post even on social media, somebody, so like in Amritsar, few days back I came across a small Sikh boy is making pakoras, and then somebody saying that he lost his father. Immediately I told my Amritsar team, so we got his sister admitted in ITI.
Wow.
In Amritsar, we got this boy admitted in a school, and now we are renovating his shop to make a very nice fast food kind. It is just small case. I don't know. I just saw on social media. A girl came to me. They could not. She is a gold medalist. Gursimran Kaur, MBBS. Her parents could not pay fee. MBBS. I phoned even SGPC that please do something. But obviously they have their own compulsions. I said okay, I'll pay the fee. No problem. 12 lakh fee was there. But now that girl, she called me on a Rakhi day. She messaged. I was in tears. And she's a gold medalist, a chronologist. And she said, how can I repay you, sir? I said, no. You repay by make 10 other doctors. Go to villages. Serve cancer patients. So I feel happy. I didn't know that girl. I didn't know this boy. I'm just telling you, this happened only last 3-4 months.
So, that joy that you get out of seeing other people benefiting from what you have done, why can that not be made part of our curriculum? There's so much talk right now about the Delhi government's Desh Bhakti curriculum, for instance. But is there some way that we can make this ethos part of our national psyche?
Yes.
For instance, we used to have the NSS, earlier.
I was part of NSS.
Yeah, and I think it taught us a lot.
Yeah.
But somewhere down the line, I think we forgot those values as a nation, as a society.
No, I think that is very important, because if I am so, it is because since my childhood, my parents, my school teachers, they inculcated these values. Then it becomes part of your, then you cannot change.
Right.
So it's very important that emphasis on moral education, ethics, ethos, how to be, apart from all these academic subjects.
How to be a good citizen.
Good citizen and a good human being. A smartian or a good human being. At least you should have pain for others. You should help, reach out to have not. If that kind of philosophy is there, and all our millionaires, billionaires friends in India who have a lot of concentration of wealth, I think if each one of us help our surrounding, India will not be a poor country.
Now, when you are doing this social work,
yes, sir.
Sometimes you find that politicians are jealous, Babu got jealous.
Yes.
Do you find there's some kind of a problem when you are doing your work that government is not helping or some people are not helping?
Sometimes I am confronted with question that, sometimes not too many people, some one or two people, senior people ask me, what is your interest? I said, what is my interest? Because people are dying, people are there. So I am not bothered about A government or B government. I even donated. We did work in Punjab. I have nothing to do which government was there or not there. And Gujarat, in Gandhinagar constituency, Amrit Shah ji came also. We have nothing to do with this politics. So therefore, I believe this for these kind of calamities, we should have common minimum program. For Punjab problem, until we will have a common minimum program of cancer or drugs or jobs, a modernization of agriculture, getting industry into Punjab, at least these 5 things, people can agree now on something.
See, we have a common minimum program.
Already.
5 things.
Because some belt is suffering from cancer and the water has gone down in this is what I hear. And then second is agriculture modernization. And third is jobs. And getting industry back,
and de-addiction.
And of course other social evils and getting the Punjabi pride back.
Do I ask this question because politicians, because you need government permission for starting something.
Yes.
Sometimes they don't give immediate permission sometimes.
No, sometimes people don't believe me that if I tell them I will do, then they say, one very senior minister in Punjab asked me that what is your interest in doing? I want to do it. If you can give us some infrastructure for 10 years, because it takes time for us to build, to take land, and if we lose our energy, if you give some infrastructure, we'll run free of charge. He said, who will fund you? I said, I will fund myself. So sometimes maybe it's difficult for them to believe that people can be so, generous, or it is a question of your contentment. One can be contented, one can be content with $100, one cannot be content with $100 million. Everything is in bank. You hardly now you eat what? Now the diets are also reducing. Doctor tells you. So you eat 2 chapatis and some very light meal. People tell you skip dinner, eat what. So then, okay, what you will do? Once you have reached certain level and you have a reasonably good house. And I was reading about Warren Buffett. He still stays in a very small ancestral house, drives his own car. We should
drinks Coke and eats burgers.
So we should, we should imbibe them, and we should. They are the great success story. How humble they are. And at the end of day, whether it was Stephen Jobs or other, for one reason or other, everybody has to go from this world. So why not during your world? It is all over. Why don't you give something to society for your own karma, and then whatever, for your own salvation, for your own self-actualization?
But going forward, what is your vision for young people, especially in India? Because they really need the most help. And you've seen them closely, with your de-addiction centers, etc.
I think our young Indians are brilliant.
Yeah.
Brilliant means they are better than any young guy of anywhere. Maybe in towns of BC, villages, their IQ level is very good. What they need is brushing.
Right.
That's why we have started soft skill, your personality, your grooming, your spoken English, other things. The other thing is they should have self-confidence. And now people are getting educated. That's why the skill program has been started. If the youth which cannot get into IIT and engineering, at least they have something. This is better than MA or MBA. Because at least you will, after 6-8 months, even if you are repairing mobile or nurse or whatever, there are a whole lot of hundreds of courses. So I think youth must get, empowered. At least if they are not able to get admission in the top college, they should not get disheartened. Get to a skill, and maybe they can make a better success story than their fellow persons.
Right. I think it's also a question of dignity of labor. I think we have to understand that. We don't have that sense as yet.
Everybody has struggled. I told you I started my career. I was management trainee in AF Ferguson. I used to change 3 DTC buses to reach from Rajouri Garden to east of Kailash. The other day I met a gentleman. He said, "Uncle, I am Mr. Ghai's son." So then I remembered in 86 to 90, we rented a small, first floor. Nobody used to give. So it is we bought a Maruti car. So it is so confidence should be there.
Right.
Everybody works hard. There is something like luck also, I don't say. But if you work hard, you will, and there is no shortcut to success. I don't believe people who believe in elevators. There has to be a staircase that is more sustainable and experience.
Right.
Okay, the startups are showing some Zomatos and some OAs. Okay, few success stories we see, and then sometimes our younger generation feels now this is overnight, valuation has gone up. It is good. It is good. One should try and one should but by and large you should be, steadfast and.
So you still believe in the bricks and mortar economy?
Yes.
You have been traveling all over the world with the government delegation, which I asked earlier also. You deal with bureaucrats, you deal with... Do you think Indian diplomacy, economic diplomacy, in the last 10-15 years, how it has changed? It is effective. Earlier, the diplomat was not concerned about business. Now they are concerned about business also.
No, I think right from the Prime Minister to foreign, now, for example, there's a lot of impetus to economic diplomacy. Whenever a head of state comes to India, there is always an interaction with the business people. And they always ask one of us, whether from FICCI or CII or wherever, or like I'm chairing India-Arab Council and BRICS and whatever. So they all, like Afghanistan president, when he had come, they asked me to chair it. So there is always this 1 hour, 2 hour interaction. And then, because I think governments of succession have realized that without economic diplomacy, now Prime Minister Modi went to US, there was bilateral with Joe Biden, but then he met one-to-one with the top investors. Prime Minister meeting earlier, it was not happening. Earlier there was US IBC also. But now there's a lot of emphasis that, okay, one-to-one, what is your commitment? Like Egyptian president came 3 years back. So we were a group of 10. He asked each one of us, how much you will invest in Egypt? Whosoever had business interest. So it is very, very heartening to note that economics is binding. And when economic binds the countries, even small political irritants will go away, will wither away.
But in a sense, India has lost the race in continents like Africa, hasn't it? We could have done so much more, and we allowed China to sort of...
Yes. No, we didn't allow, but China thing is that Chinese government supports the business.
Yeah.
If China, I have seen in Africa, if Chinese want to buy some iron ore or gold or platinum, they will take over a mine. And if mine is 400 kilometers from the port, and they have railway line, they can even put a railway line, or they can invest in a rolling stock. India cannot do that. We don't have India. We told last government that China used to have like a SAARC. China was not a member of SAARC.
Yeah.
Right.
They used to conduct. I was chair of SAARC CCI for 6 years. We had the SAARC visa sticker, and a lot of things were done. SAFTA, although it could not see light of the day because of 1 or 2 countries. But China used to organize a SAARC trade fair, and they were giving free of charge space. Once we told our ITPO, they said we have budget. Naturally, they have their own. So kind of China opens up, supports their industry. So our government can at best support the Indian industry in a generic form, But I think maybe we have to cross that hurdle when an Indian foreign minister pushes for contract to one company, because we have democracy now. People will then attach motive. But you saw U.S. president fighting. Trump fought for these motorcycles. He says my motorcycle duty, all one brand name. If somebody from India does for brand name this bike now, then people will. No, I'm just saying. So people have to also change. We have to change our thinking. So, but by and large, India has come a long way with Prime Minister and our embassy official. There is a consciousness of economic diplomacy, that economics has to be at the forefront.
That's a very easy, local and global.
Yes,
that's what
I'm a member of India Brand Equity Foundation. We always do vocal for local. Make in India, we are supporting that. They are good programs, but we have to find a balance between us and now, for example, South Africa or Africa also says. So now we have found a balance that okay, we mine, for example, rock phosphate or iron ore. But they also don't want, like East India Company, that you now take the raw material to India. So what we are doing some beneficiation there to satisfy them. But still we bring a beneficiated rock or beneficiated iron ore for the Indian steel industry, Indian fertilizer industry. So there can be always a win-win situation.
Thank you so much, Mr. Sahney. You're a man who gets things done. You're a man who connects people. And you're a man who believes in serving society. It was a pleasure to talk to you.
Thank you.
Thank you. It was my pleasure to interact with two stalwarts.
Thank you very much.